My wife lied to the police about my stepdaughter. 2 days ago my son Jay, 17, came to my job upset and crying. He told me my stepdaughter Kay, 19, came home with a ton of new things, and when he checked his room the dollar he had been saving was gone. Kay doesn't have a job, and when she does have dollars she spends it like it'll burn a hole in her pocket. My boss let me go home early and I went home to ask Kay who took her shopping. Kay told me she used her own dollar. I told her to tell me the truth and she told me to mind my own business. Jay has been working at Papa Murphy's and has been saving it. He was saving to surprise the dad of his friend who passed away, Bo, for his first birthday without him. His friends had given him $1 to load onto his car to pay at the pump. It's this weekend for 2 days and they were going to treat dad. Most kids would be saving for their first car or cool clothes, but he wanted to just be there for his friend's dad. Instead of arguing back and forth with Kay, I checked the camera we have to check on the dogs. It only caught her legs, but it was Kay going into Jay's room. The rule in my house is we don't go into each other's room. It's a mutual respect of privacy. I told Kay she was caught and that she needed to get everything to return it all. Kay started throwing every excuse I had it saved for months. How do you know it was me? Someone must have broken in. Her mom came home and she burst into tears, saying we were ganging up on her. I showed my wife the video and what happened. Kay ended up saying, why does he get to have all the money anyway? He worked his ass off. I told my wife she needed to make Kay return everything and she said no, that it would be embarrassing to return it all and that when Kay got a job she would repay Jay. I said it'll be more embarrassing when she gets arrested for stealing $400. We argue and I tell my wife Kay broke a non-negotiable rule as well as the law by stealing. She is 19. She doesn't pay rent and needs to leave. My wife says if you kick her out I'm going to. So I asked if she was willing to replace the money stolen. We have separate bank accounts. Force Kay to return, or she could give me her half of the rent early. We split all bills. No. They packed a few bags and left. I was not going to rip the bags of stuff out of her hands. I don't think getting physical would have been the smartest thing to do. Before you make me out to be the asshole, I do not have extra money for him to still go. I can only replace the small amount back to his friends and it's not enough to make the trip. He went to bed without eating and has been crushed. I posted to a sub Am I the Jerk and was flooded with people telling me I should have called the police. So this morning that is what I did. The solution was that the officer would call my wife to bring Kay to the station to talk, or she could return the items and pay back Jay. Sort of a scare tactic because I was told it is a civil matter. My wife straight up F-ingleed to the officer and said she gave the money to Kay. Since I don't have actual proof of Jay's money, no proof other than her walking into his room, nothing can be done. I'm livid. I literally watched Jay get his heart broken at the police station. Through tears he said, how could they do this to me? What was this all for? I just wanted to see Bo's dad. Jay is my son from a previous relationship. I had to lecture him on not keeping large amounts of cash in his room, but he didn't think it would get stolen. My wife and Kay have support, staying with family. This won't affect them. OP posted another query in our /personalfinance regarding bank accounts for his 17-year-old son. Sorry if this is a stupid question, but my son basically got robbed by his stepsister and I'm trying to figure out how to move forward. He had the cash saved up in his room and the police can't do anything about it since my wife lied about it to protect her daughter, and I don't want him to ever be in this position again. He has a prepaid card that he adds money to at the register, but it doesn't offer any fraud protection if someone tried using his card in the future. I thought about adding him to my bank account, but I'm filing for divorce and I don't know if that would affect opening a new account. He works at Papa Murphy's and gets a paper check. Any advice? Update: my wife who lied to the police about my stepdaughter. 5 days later. I know a lot of people are waiting for an update after reading my first post. It was removed because too many comments about dollar. Please do not mention crowdfunding or GFM. I don't know if this update will stay up before it's taken down. I'm not deleting the posts. In case you didn't read my first post, message me if you want to read it. My 17-year-old son had been saving all summer to go visit his dad's friend on the first birthday of Jay's friend since he passed. I did not know he had so much cash in his room. I would have told him to put it in the safe, but I'm not going to victim blame. My son shouldn't have to worry about someone stealing from him. The rule in my house is no one goes into each other's room, parents included. It's not so much of a rule but a mutual respect thing. My 19-year-old stepdaughter stole his money. Her mom refused to make her return the stuff she got and I almost took the bags from her, but I'm glad I didn't because my wife lied to the police about the money, so she could have easily lied about me putting hands on her. The police said it was a civil matter since my wife said she gave Kay the money, which was a lie. My wife said if I was kicking Kay out, she was going to. I didn't stop them. My wife and Kay have support, staying with family. This won't affect them. This weekend my wife showed back up with a sheriff's escort. She came armed with receipts showing that she bought the furniture in our rental and that is all she needed to take. Everything. I tried explaining I gave her cash for some of the items, but guess what? Just like with Jay, cash doesn't have a trail. Her family helped her move everything in under an hour. With how quick this all happened, the cynic in me thinks my wife had this planned well before what happened. My wife contacted the landlord and paid a lot of money to break the lease. Almost double the dollar that Kay stole, but of course she didn't offer to repay Jay. After everyone left and my landlord called, I had a mini breakdown. Everything was moving faster than I could comprehend and honestly felt like I was watching a movie. Jay came up to me and said, I'm so sorry you lost everything because of me. And it's not a big deal. I'll tell mom it's okay that Kay needed it more than me, that's all I needed to snap out of it. I told him he is my everything. Not her, not the house, not the furniture, not the food that was in the fridge. Yes, super cheesy, but there is nothing my wife can do, say, Or give me to make me overlook or be okay with what they did to him. I asked him, are you going to feel comfortable around them? What about when you're gone? I don't want you to have to worry about what will she steal next. Kay is not going to get away with this. My wife made a choice when the police officer asked her about Kay. She chose to defend and protect Kay just like I am choosing to protect Jay. If Jay isn't comfortable, I'm not comfortable. And I told him that. The people in my life have been slamming me online saying things like I'm uncomfortable that he would choose his son over his wife and his son is almost an adult. It's time to grow up and be a man. It doesn't matter what age I am. I will always protect Jay. I blocked everyone after that. Yes, he is almost an adult, but that doesn't mean it's okay to steal from him. Having a crime or something bad happening to you isn't a rite of passage to be an adult. He is a responsible, hard-working, honest, kind, almost man, but he is also the 8-year-old who used to run to me every day after work with a huge smile like I hung the moon. I cannot afford the full rent, so luckily my landlord has agreed to let us leave by the 1st. The only place we have to go to is my mom's, who lives across the state. This means I have to pull Jay out of his last year of high school and transfer him. I have to sell what little we have left here, and that might include selling Jay's beater car, but the silver lining is Jay and I can transfer locations for work. Mama has always been more of a mother to Jay than my wife. Moms are healing at any age. I'm not saying I'm not devastated, that I'm not suffering emotional whiplash, and I'm not saying the things that are being said about me in real life aren't affecting me, because it is. But my son needs me. He is still grieving his friend, missing his senior year with his friends, and I'm not the kind of parent to say because I said so or we are moving and you don't get a choice or opinion on it. That isn't me. Update 2. My wife who lied to the police about my stepdaughter. If you had told me 20-ish days ago that I would be searching for a decent divorce lawyer who doesn't require a retainer fee, I would have laughed in your face. For Jay's sake, I'm not going to expose you on social media, but I won't hold back if I'm asked about it. Your friends and family have your back and can't believe I would go through the shame and embarrassment of a divorce. It's mind-blowing that I'm getting the blame for this. Nobody cares about Jay except me. Y'all have shown your true colors. I realize that your people are the kind who victim shame. What was she wearing? Was she flirting with him? Did she let him buy her drinks? Type of people. You are who you surround yourself with. It's not our fault your dad is broke. Jay should have hit it better. Finders keepers. I'm uncomfortable that he would choose his son over his wife. Why did he have so much cash on him anyway? What did he think was going to happen? That one stings because WTF? He thought his belongings were safe in his room? It never crossed his mind that there was a possibility of him getting robbed? Kay broke a house rule by going into Jay's room. She flipped his room upside down looking for cash, and once she found it, she consciously put everything back in its place. She then took the money and went shopping. When she was caught, she got an attitude and told me to mind my business when I asked her where she got the dollar because she can't have more than $5 before it burns a hole in her pocket. She played the victim and cried to you when you got home because she was scared of us for ganging up on her. She wasn't scared. She isn't sorry. She doesn't care. Kay is a effing sociopath. Kay committed petty larceny. I'm not going to tell him that he will make new friends at his new school, that it's only for maybe a year max, or that in the grand scheme of life this really isn't that bad. I don't need to remind him that there are kids who are going through worse things. That he just needs to get over it because he is just a kid and I'm the parent, so what I say goes. He has to start his senior year at a new school. I have to pull him from the friends he has gone to school with since kindergarten. He cried with me when I told him we would have to rehome our animals temporarily because Mama can't have pets at her place, which is where we are moving to. So I'm going to sit with him in the this effing sucks of it. He came into my room with a bag of Swedish fish to share to tell me it was okay to give up on staying here. He told me he was sorry that you weren't the woman I thought you were and that it must really hurt me. He also cracked a joke that at least we won't have to eat any more of your unseasoned cafeteria food. The only thing that is keeping me from a complete guilty break is that I know Jay knows I tried. He saw me posting everywhere to get a roommate to move in that would cover your half of the rent. He was with me going door to door in 100-degree heat to offer lawn services to the neighbors to be able to afford the additional security deposit I need because you have better credit than me. You made a liar out of me. I instilled into Jay that if he works for something hard enough, no one can ever take it or throw it back in his face if he earned it. I've been calling animal shelters trying to get info on temporary foster homes because my mom's place doesn't allow pets, and we can't stay here. Just know that there is going to be a time where you metaphorically, possibly quite literally, can't bail Kay out. You are doing her such a huge disservice enabling her and cleaning up her messages because she isn't going to learn any life skills. No one likes a spoiled, entitled brat. Lord have mercy for her when she gets her first dose of real karma. So Reddit, this is my last update about this. I know I had a lot of people wondering what happened. Kay is still not being held accountable and my soon-to-be ex has moved in with her co-worker that I believe she has been having an affair with. They are fine. They are thriving. Their world isn't crushed like ours is. We have to surrender our pets and move ours away to live with Mama until I find us a new place and save up. It's not effing fair. Update 3, my stepdaughter has been stealing from me. A little background, about a month ago my 19-year-old stepdaughter Kay stole $400 from my 17-year-old son's room. He was saving to be there for his friend's dad on the first birthday since his friend passed away. My wife refused to make her return everything because it would be embarrassing for Kay to have to return it all. My wife then lied to the police about the money, saying she gave Kay the money to save her ass. Kay committed petty larceny and got away with it. I told my wife our marriage was over. I didn't want to work it out. Her daughter is a thief. She enabled and she condoned her immature criminal behavior. 2 days ago my son and I had to leave our rental. My wife and I split all the bills, but I can't do it on my own, so we will be crashing on my mom's couch for a few months. The shitty part is it's almost 6 hours away from where we are now. Jay is a senior and has gone to school with the same group of kids since pre-K. He has to switch schools, but I told him I would sleep in my car for a week while he stays with a friend so that he could go to the homecoming dance next week. Today I went to fill up my car with my emergency credit card. This weekend I have to drive to my mom's to drop the first load of stuff off so that I can safely live out of my car without raising suspicion. My card declined. I called customer service thinking it was denied as a security precaution because I haven't used it in months. It's truly an emergency card, but since I have $9 to my name right now, I had to use it. The rep tells me it was denied because it's maxed out and if I want to use it I would have to make a payment. My card was used at Sephora the same day that Kay stole Jay's money. She spent my $500 and Jay's $400 on effing makeup. I asked the rep why I wasn't called because it was a suspicious charge and I was told they tried. I found out the number on my account was my wife's. There was an online account for my card that I didn't create. I have kept my wife and I's finances separate. She was not on my card. I reported the fraud with the rep but won't get the money back until after an investigation. I went to Sephora and pretended I was buying my daughter something but wasn't sure what she liked, so after a few questions they pulled up her beauty insider info. She is a rouge, whatever the fuck that means. I asked what the return policy was and then I left. I'm so effing furious. After a heated phone call with my wife, I was blocked. I don't know where they live or I'd show up to get the shit back to return. My wife and Kay moved in with a coworker who I'm pretty sure was having an affair with. Once again these heifers are living their life without interruptions and it's nothing but heartbreak for Jay. I now have to go through our stuff to find some things to pawn to get gas to make it to my mom's, but Jay will have to come with me because I can't afford a second trip back. No homecoming dance with his friends because a sociopath can't keep her hands off other people's money. I put my wallet on the top of the fridge the minute I walk in the door. I still have the physical card. How long does an investigation take? Since we are married, is she allowed to use my card or let her daughter use it without my permission? When I went to the police station for Jay's money I was told it was a civil matter. The solution was that the officer called my wife to bring Kay to the station to talk. Sort of a scare tactic, but my wife straight up lied and said she gave the money to Kay. Should I report the credit card to the police or will I just be wasting my time? We live in Nevada. Update 4, sure I'll pick up why our Sephora package. Posted on r/PettyRevenge. Around 8 a.m. I started receiving a ton of texts from my stepdaughter. I thought it was an emergency, that someone had died, or something serious because I can't recall the last time she was awake before noon. She was telling me that she had a package that was delivered today to the house. She asked me to contact the landlord to pick it up because when she tried, the landlord wouldn't give it to her. Help her get a package that she stole my credit card to buy. Today was my last day at my job before I transferred 6 hours away to crash on my mom's couch because she stole from my son and I, leading to me divorcing her mom. Text after text damn near demanding I do it right away. After work I went and got it. It had my name on it. She put it in my name to avoid it getting flagged by my credit card company. It was a partial order from when she went on a shopping spree. The items had been back ordered. It was a box of makeup from Sephora. I opened it. Again, it was in my name. It was over $200 for 4 little things. There were also a ton of little sample products. I took a picture of it and sent it to her. She started thanking me and how I saved her night out because she ran out of foundation. She was talking to me like I was her buddy, all excited. My jaw literally dropped at the audacity she had. She ruined my son's senior year and she thought I was going to help her so she could go out tonight with her friends. She didn't respond to my son when he tried begging for his money back but had the nerve to ask me to help her. I took it to Sephora to get a refund, but because the card that was used to purchase it was frozen/closed I couldn't get cash. The girl working said she could return for store credit to Kay's account. Absolutely no. I think the fuck not. So I took it to an organization that helps women get ready for job interviews so they can get back on their feet. I texted her that they said thank you and that it would really make a difference since donations were low. She lost her shit, cursing me out for giving away her stuff. How she was going to call the police if I didn't get it back within an hour. Saying she was going to go get it back. What kind of punk tries to get a donation back from the needy? I ruined her night because now she doesn't have any foundation makeup. And how dare I think it's okay to do this to her? The last and only text response I gave was I would probably avoid the police right now, especially since mommy is out of town for work. Who would bail you out? I got her package that I didn't even know about, which ended up adding more fuel to my fraud case. I do have this on another sub, but since finding this one, I think it fits better. Update 5, my son gets to stay. I had a lot of people on my previous posts wanting an update and I finally have one. A quick refresher if you can't see my post history. My stepdaughter stole hundreds of dollars from my son. My wife wouldn't make her return the things she bought and flat out lied to the police saying she gave the dollar to her. I chose my son over my wife and Kay. I immediately kicked Kay out and my wife went with her. My wife terminated our lease early and I was living out of my car while my son stayed with a friend so he could attend homecoming week and his senior homecoming dance with his friends. The plan was to move across the state to crash on my mom's couch because she is the only family we have. Jay was crushed, but there was no other choice, or so I thought. The day I was supposed to take our first load of things to my mom's, I discovered my emergency credit card was maxed out by Kay on makeup at Sephora. This was a blessing in disguise because while I was waiting for the fraud investigation to clear I found a place that I could afford and it is 5 minutes from the school. Jay gets to stay with his friends, at the same school, and gets to start back at Papa Murphy's where he worked all summer. I'm officially filing for divorce. I'm pressing charges on behalf of Jay and myself against K for the theft. I have audio recording, messages, emails, FB screenshots that my lawyer says will be a slam dunk. The only heart-wrenching thing is we can only afford one pet deposit, so 2 of our animals have to be surrendered. All 3 pets have been with a foster, but it isn't working out, so we have to let 2 go, but this will be the last super hard decision we have to make for a while. I'm looking forward to healing and moving on from the toxic person I married and her twit of a daughter. Despite her pleas and attempt at publicly humiliating me on FB, I will never forgive her for this. She thinks I should be embarrassed for getting a divorce, but I would be more embarrassed staying with her after she showed me she had 0 regard for my son. It's not a new chapter. On Tuesday, Jay and I start our new book of life. Update 6. Will I be the jerk for ruining a 19-year-old's life? I've posted a lot over this situation, but today I got some information that has me second guessing, so I'm here to ask Reddit. A brief recap is that my ex-stepdaughter stole hundreds of dollars from my son. My ex-wife refused to make her pay him back and lied to the police about it, so it became a civil matter. After my emergency card was denied getting gas, I found out Kay also used my card for hundreds of dollars. When I confronted Kay and my ex, I was ignored and blocked. I made a mistake by donating the things she had bought with my card, inadvertently taking ownership of it because the store wasn't going to refund me. At this point, she was going to get away with everything she had stolen from my son and I. Kay opened up 3 credit cards in my name with her as a joint account the past few months. She maxed each card out over $5,000. I was able to file a police report, and last week she was arrested on identity theft/credit card fraud. I'm getting nothing but hate for having her arrested. Today I had a meeting with a prosecutor who damn near scolded me for not working it out outside of court. He told me with the amounts it was a guaranteed felony. He lectured me on how she would be a felon for life. He then asked me if I would be willing to drop it and let her pay me monthly restitution. I told him I tried that option already. The credit card companies weren't going to reimburse me without a conviction of fraud, and that neither her or her mom have shown any interest in repaying me. I also asked how much the monthly payment would be, and he said he wasn't 100% sure. Probably a few $100, but it goes off of her income. Kay is unemployed and has never had a job at 19. The credit card debt is over $15,000. It will take years for her to repay me. My credit is frozen. I can't get a loan to literally save my life. My ex and her family have not once tried to make anything right on her behalf and only enabled her, so I don't believe they would hold her accountable. No one cared when we were homeless. No one said anything when I asked for help. Why am I being persuaded to spare her when what she did was criminal? 19 is not a child. He told me he would give me a day to think about it. Will I be the jerk if I went through with the charge?